Hey, hey, hey. Hey, MoJo Nation. It is your girl, Missy Jomo. I hope that y'all can hear me out there. I don't see anyone on yet, but I know that y'all are coming because I did not get to have my live on Thursday. And I know that this live says that I am coming live from the Carnival Jubilee. But unfortunately, that didn't get to happen. But that's okay because I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks. Today, I'm going to give you the whole cruise scoop. Turn the volume down on this music. All right, let me also check real quick and make sure that I am able to be heard online. Let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. Make sure y'all are sending this to your friends and all of those who desires to cruise the Carnival Jubilee. So let's see. I'm running into an issue here. I'm still waiting for you to come in anyway, so it's okay. I will get started very shortly. Let's see. Huh. MoJo family, are you out there? I don't see anyone has joined yet. And let's see. Let me see, let me see. Hmm. It's not going live. Let's see. MoJo family, is this live? Are you seeing me, or am I not coming up? What's having issues? All right, I see myself. I see myself. I see myself. All right. Uh-oh, let me turn it down though. All right, we are in business. You know, it's no fun unless you have a few technical issues. So anyway, like I was saying, MoJo family, I have been on the Carnival Jubilee this week, and it was very tiring. There was so much to do, and I didn't even have a clue before I went on. Um, Therefore, I need a vacation from my vacation. But it was really good though. So today, what I'm going to share with you is I'm going to share with you the cruise scoop. Everything I wish someone had told me. And before I shipped on Carnival Jubilee, I thought I knew everything, but I didn't. From check-in hacks to packs, from excursions to food tips, and even how to keep from getting sick. Yes, I am going to give it all to you. Just replay. I'm sorry. So grab your notepads and we're going to go move forward, even though I tend to be having some challenges today. So, who is in the building? All right, all right, all right. I see someone there. As you come in, say hi, drop a note, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of these episodes. Just say hello, hello, hello. All right, I don't see anyone saying anything, but we're going to go ahead and move forward. Before your cruise. And also, I'm going to go ahead and play a video while I am here talking so that y'all can see some of the, some of the, ooh, y'all ignore my stomach. Ooh. All right, it's no fun unless you have a few issues, right? Let me pull this video up. And it is there. So why is it there and not here? Let me try this again, MoJo family. Let's get it going. All right, we've got it here. So while I am talking, I'm going to let that play with no sound so that I can, talk about, why is it pausing? I'm not sure. All right, MoJo family, we're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. I am coming. Give me just a second, MoJo family. I'm not sure why this is pausing. Let me see. Drop a note. Let me know if you are seeing that on screen. Drop me a note. Drop me a note if you are seeing it play on screen. No, I think it's frozen. Or is it going? Are you seeing the video? If you're in the chat and can see the video, let me know. Or is it frozen like it is on my side? Okay, well, there's always, I think I froze on the video, but that's okay. Let me know in the chat if you are seeing that video going. I think I'm frozen. That's okay. It's okay. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving forward. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and rewind this video so that y'all can see it from the beginning. So we left. Our check-in time was at 11 a.m. So we gave ourselves plenty of time. We drove. I think we left out at 4 o'clock in the morning. Our check-in time was at 11 a.m. And we are faster to the fun. So we were going to be amongst the first ones to check in. So as you can see on the video, we arrived at the terminal. We had to get a line. There was already a line there. And so we waited. I don't even think we actually waited till actual 11 o'clock to start checking in. I think that there was so many people on this cruise that they went ahead and started checking in early. So I actually did have to stop recording in the terminal. I'm not sure why, but one of the ladies there asked me to stop recording. So just FYI, if you are trying to record while you're checking in on your cruise, it is not allowed in the terminal. So I actually saw signs as I was walking up the what do you call that thing? Ugh. As I was walking up to the actual ship, I did see signs that you're not supposed to have photography, but I did ask about it. And let me pause this video. I did ask about the photography, and one of the workers said they would not stop me from recording if that's what I wanted to do. So I did go ahead and continue to record walking up the walkway, but I'm going to do a video just to show rooms and things like that on the Carnival Jubilee. So you'll have to tune in to see that video later. But what we're looking at now is once you check in this beautiful Carnival Jubilee, you will come to the first thing they want you to do is your muster station. I have to admit, that's not always the first thing that I do. What I do is I like to secure me a good space to watch the sail away party, go put my things down, anything that I'm carrying. My bags, I check in at the curbside because for me, I don't want to be dragging my bags until the rooms open at 1:30. Now, because I had faster to the fun, which I'll talk about later, I am able to drop my bags off. But please, 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 and I'm going to mention this again, please, when you drop your bags, do not stay in the room. Those stewardess are trying to get those rooms turned over and ready, and they actually have to get it checked before it is approved to go ahead and allow guests to stay in them. So drop your bags and get out of their way. So the muster station being the first thing that you're going to encounter, and the people there are so nice. They will tell you exactly where you need to go because the ship does not move until you have completed your muster station. So I'm sharing all these things with you so that you don't stress out. The good thing is this is was not my first trip. Most of you know that I love um, cruising. And so if you look on the screen, it's a matter of someone scanning your tag and then you're out. So that then no stress. Muster station is done. You go watch it on your television in your room, how to use a life jacket, and that's it. So if you if you let me rewind. If you happen to be flying in for your cruise, I'm going to tell you now, I would highly recommend flying in the day before because anything can happen. I even recommend driving in the day before, especially if you're catching a cruise out of Galveston, because 45 is always a mystery. You don't know if you're going to hit 45 at the right time or if you're going to hit 45 when they have a disaster going on. But either way, I would recommend coming in the day before because rushing will stress you out. And I don't know about you, but if you start your cruise stressed out, I have always had the rest of my cruise being stressed out. So don't start your cruise out that way. Give yourself a break. Now, another thing about the first day that can possibly stress you out is this line for the elevators. The elevators are so small and it takes forever on the first day and pretty much half of the second day, if not the whole second day. Um, Waiting for an elevator can take 15, 20 minutes. And I'm not being funny, I'm being literal. 15, 20 minutes. If you're like me and have knees that don't do stairs well, you're going to be willing to wait, but you need to pack your patience with you in your bag. So, another thing I want to mention that I didn't, it is so important to to check in online. I haven't had this experience because I always check in online and you print your boarding pass. But now Carnival has gotten stricter. So if you arrive to the terminal without your boarding pass, you're going to have to find somewhere to print your boarding pass. It is what it is, okay? So it's better just to go ahead and get it done and be done with it. So when you get to the terminal, you don't have to be trying to struggle to find somewhere to print it. Um, if you do have faster to the fund, like I said, drop your luggage. But also, this particular trip, we had an issue with our hanging bag. If you have a hanging bag, it might be best for you to carry that on with you. First of all, our hanging bag did not arrive to our room. I ended up having to go to customer service and finding out that my hanging bag was actually destroyed. So it was destroyed, and um, it was destroyed, and my clothes were just kind of thrown in there, and I was not happy about that. So just make sure that I would recommend carrying your hanging clothes if you have it in a bag. Um, Another thing at check-in I want to mention is that if you put a card on your account when you're doing check-in, the night before they are going to put a $100 hold on your credit card or debit card, which by the way, I do not recommend putting a debit card down. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more why later. Um, but I realized on this trip that if you wait until you check in the terminal, they will only put a $10 hold on your card. So for me, yes, you're going to use the money, but I'd rather for them to put a $10 hold than a whole $100. Or if you wait until you are on the ship, they are going to put a $200 hold on your card. So it's holding your funds, and yes, it will go towards any purchases or anything like that on board. But if you're like me, I don't like those holds, especially if it is a debit card, because when they put those holds on your debit card, it's holding funds that you cannot use, and they may not release those funds for 7 to 10 business days. And then you're in your mind knowing that you have money on your card, but it's being declined everywhere. And you're like, why is this happening? It's because they put like 10, 20. No, it's like they put several holds on your debit card just to assure that they will get their money. So, another thing that I was going to say about check-in, I'm going back to check-in. That's why I paused the video. But another thing about check-in is that if you do have faster to the fund, but the people that you are coming with does not have faster to the fund, you are going to get split up. So it's better that if you're going to have it, um, recommend the people in your group to also have it. There is definitely pluses to having faster to the fund, and I think I'm going to talk about all those later. But just encourage everyone in your party to get faster to the fund so that you can stay together. Now, if you don't really care about staying together, which I did because I was traveling with a first time cruiser, and I did not want her to feel like she was alone. So I gave up my being able to move in the line faster to go make sure that she's okay, which reminds me about one other thing. If you are cruising, make sure the name on your passport or your driver's license matches the name on your boarding pass. If they do not match, you are going to have a problem. They're not necessarily going to deny you to get on board, but you're going to have to wait. They're going to have to change your name. And if everything goes through fine, then you can be on your way. So, um, it's not a big deal, but it's a deal, and we had to wait for that to happen. Um, the other thing we ran into is we actually kind of had a newer person in the terminal checking us in. So if you're using a green card, it could also bring you a few challenges, but it's not on your side. It's something that Carnival has to do on their side. So those are just things that, to prepare you for. So when you are cruising, that you kind of have an idea of, okay, if this has happened, it's okay. Don't freak out, because you will be able to get it rectified in most cases, because we ran into those situations ourselves. So also, don't forget, when you are boarding, you can take one bottle of wine per adult. But please, please, please do not check it in with your bag, because it might not make it to your room. You can take a 12 pack of Coke or a 12 pack of water, but it cannot be in plastic containers. So I don't know. I know why, but it's kind of a mystery to me, being that even if you buy from Carnival itself, from Carnival Cruise, the Carnival Cruise Line, they give you water in plastic water bottles. So I'm not really sure why they do that, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe they're just trying to minimize plastics in the ocean, and they're already giving you plastic, so they don't want you to bring any more. Maybe that's it. So, okay, so once you're on board, or before you get on board, you also want to download the Carnival Hub app. That is your lifeline for your time on the cruise. If you do not download it before you get on the boat and the ship takes off, you're going to have trouble, because you're going to have to go to customer service, and they're going to have to do it for you. So you might as well go ahead and get that taken care of before you get on the ship, so that you can start having fun and not start trying to figure out how you're going to fix finding things on your hub. Because on your hub app, you're going to have your uh, activities, what's happening, your account. You know, if you maybe have credits there, it's going to be there. Excursions, everything is going to be on your lifeline. So download that app before you get on board. So, okay. So I'm gonna start the video back. So on this part of the video, we were walking toward the Lido deck. As I mentioned before, the first thing I like to do is go save me a nice place on the Lido deck, so that I'm all about the sail away party. Okay. So I am ready to get me a good place. So I take my things up to the Lido deck, and well, actually, I go one step above the Lido deck, because the Lido deck usually gets so crowded with everybody on there dancing and everything. So I like to look from above. Plus, this trip I really wanted to record, so I wanted to have a clear view. So we are on deck 16, which is called the Lido deck, and on our way up to deck 17, so that we can put our things down. So that's what we're doing on the video there. So um, a couple of things that I would recommend packing, because as you see, I was going to put things on to save my spot. A towel clips, and a hat with a brim, because this particular day it was burning up hot. Like, there's no shade um, on this part of the Lido deck that you see. As you see, you have to sit in one of the chairs and back. And trust me, when we are doing the sail away party, um, people will be standing in front of you, and you won't be able to see anything. So you would need to bring a hat to block the sun, because it was hot. I was like, hey, it's all the way September. Why is it so hot? Nonetheless, we're in Texas. That's just how it is. It is what it is. Um, I am going to So on this particular part of the video, the first place we visited was our red frog. Yes, you have to get your sail off first cruise drink at Red Frog. And the cool thing about the Jubilee is that the Jubilee has a double layer Red Frog bar. Everybody knows the cool place to hang is the Red Frog Bar, but everybody also knows there are several other cool places. So cheers to my husband as we started off our journey. Not far from the Red Frog Bar is Guy's Burgers. Now, of course, everyone goes to on a cruise to eat Guy's Burgers. One, two, or three of them, right? Yes. um, so another thing that I would say to pack with you, speaking of eating Guy's Burgers, is you might want to pack a few Tums. I'm gonna put a list of things to pack in the description below because there are things that I did forget still on this trip, but with this list, it should cover most things. As you see on the video, we are in the elevator having our first cheers. Cheers to the start of our trip. But the elevators are super small. And the reason why I point that out is remember, the Carnival Jubilee carries not about, it's more than 5,700 guests, and then another 1,500 workers. You have over 6,000 people on this cruise ship, and the elevators are so small. I think I was really surprised by that. I think that was the biggest surprise about the Jubilee that I ran into. Um, so when I was actually on deck eight, which is what you see right there, the photos are on deck eight. If you have the opportunity to stay on deck eight, on the Jubilee, I say that it is a really good deck because on deck eight, you're near center. There's center stage is what I'm walking up to now. That's center stage. The customer service is on deck eight. The adventures, excursions booth is on eight. The pizza place. There's plenty of bars on deck eight. I stayed in the Havana bar, and I stayed in the Havana rooms, and the Havana bar is on eight. Everything seems to be so close. So I highly recommend a room on eight because you're very close to many things. I mean, there's tempiyaki there, there's sushi there, there's stores. I mean, everything is on deck eight. So if you have that opportunity, definitely deck eight. And also viewing the shows from deck eight. If you see right there, it's a nice view. So here was the start of the sell-off party, but it was so hot that I didn't capture the full view. Plus, they were dancing in the shade. I'm like, hey, if I would have known you were going to be down there dancing in the shade, I would have been on deck 16. But anyway, the dancers, as you see, the dancers are there, and the cruise director, Andy. Andy is a wonderful cruise director. This was my second time with Andy. I was actually I cruised with him on the Dream the first time, and he's super tall. I was surprised when I used to see him. I was like, came to take a picture with him. I thought, oh, you're super tall, but super tall and super nice. He actually remembered me. I was like, I know you see thousands of people, but I have to get my picture with you again. I know you don't remember me. And he said, yes, I do. He said, how could I forget you? The Dream, right? And I was like, oh my. Okay. Well, moving right along. Andy was Andy was and Andy was quite amazing cruise director. Definitely kept us informed through the whole cruise. So as you see, the Cat in the Hat is always there at the sail away party. They do have a Cat in the Hat breakfast on the last day of cruise on Jubilee, which I wasn't used to because on other cruises, I remember having an option to the day for breakfast with Cat in the Hat. I actually did the green eggs and ham breakfast, and I was like a big kid. I enjoyed the Cat in the Hat. Don't tell nobody. I enjoyed taking pictures with thing one, thing two. So if you're taking children on the cruise and you have the option for the Cat in the Hat breakfast, I would definitely recommend it. But there we go. You know, you have to It's not a carnival sell all party to you down, down, do your thing, do your thing, that. Yeah, it's not a cat in a hat. It's not a carnival cruise until you start with your shuffles. And so that's where we are. And look at William, that of course is my husband. He was starting the cruise off right. It was like, okay, okay. And so he was dancing, and then it seems like, okay, someone would say, you having too much fun. I'm gonna come do a dance off with you. And it was hilarious. But this just says something about Carnival Cruise. The people on there are mostly nice. I didn't run into anyone who I didn't necessarily have a bad experience with, but I thought this was awesome that my husband was dancing and someone just came in and started dancing with him like, hey, you're welcome. Come on, come on. Let's have a good time. Let's start this off right. And I just loved it. And as you see, my husband loves to dance, and the Carnival cruise ship is the place to do it. Um, so here, after we got finished with the Cellaway party, if you walk out on deck 16, there is plenty of buffet on deck 16, and I I was amazed by how much food is on this ship. Like all of the middle buffet places, there's like three of them. They all generally have the same food on them, and then you have those little walkways that also have different options for food, like empanadas and Indian food. Um, that's something that I wasn't used to on other cruises, but they have that available for an additional charge on the Carnival Jubilee. So it's not the empanadas and the Indian food is not free, but there are plenty of other free options. For example, Big Chicken, Shack's Big Chicken. Shack's Chicken was actually my favorite on this cruise, and one reason why is when I tasted it before, they had a lot of white meat out, which is fine, but I'm a dark meat girl, so I asked, "Hey, do you have dark meat?" And they actually do. They will cook it for you. They do not hold it, but they will cook it for you, and it takes like 10 to 15 minutes. So I got me a couple of those on this trip, and it was delicious. Their dark meat is so good. So I highly recommend you trying it. Um, on the cruise, of course, the only drinks that are free is free water, free tea, free lemonade. I would also bring a cup with a lid so that you can fill it because those little yellow and green cups are so small you have to keep going back, and you might as well just go ahead and bring your own. So on the first night of the cruise, we actually ate at Rudy's Seafood. And Rudy's Seafood did not fail us. The customer service was wonderful. And the food was even better. Even the chef came out to speak with us. And I'm going to do a video with all these, but I'm going to do them separately so you can see our Rudy Seafood experience. Um, these are pictures. I'm going to go back a little bit. These are pictures that uh, from when we were going to Rudy's, or maybe when we were finished. But we decided there's a stairway with these little fish that goes around it. It is so beautiful. It's definitely a picture spot. So if you ever find yourself on the Jubilee, make sure you take an opportunity to take pictures on the stairwell with these beautiful fish. So here are a few pictures. I just put all the food pictures there for you just to kind of get an idea of what the food is like, what it looks like on the Carnival Jubilee. So the good thing about the Carnival Jubilee is I was able to say, like, I don't know if you saw the fish go by, but it had in the description it had some kind of sauce on it, some kind of way they cooked it. And I asked them if they could do it without, and they were able to. So ask questions if there's something about the food that you don't really like. ask questions. Ask if you can take something off, if it can be prepared differently. You know, they seem like they're more than happy to do so, and that is a wonderful thing because um, there was quite a few times like I don't like sweet food. I like my dessert sweet and occasionally my drink, but I prefer more bold taste my food and drink and leave the sweetness for my desserts. And this, speaking of dessert, this is one of the most delicious desserts I had. It was like a grand marnier, and they had this sauce that they poured on it. It was so delicious. Another thing that I was not used to on the Carnival Jubilee, they had an area called Street Eats, and as you see, that's the Steam Dream. Each day they had a different like bun there, Asian inspired food, and as you see, noodle dishes. But every day was something different. It was never the same thing. So if you tried something and you liked it and then you wanted it again, I'm so sorry, it's not coming back. You get one shot and one shot only. So if you see it, but you happen to not be hungry at the time, you better grab it because you're not going to be able to see it again until your next trip on the Carnival Jubilee. So time fries, I love that name. They had the best muffletta fried dish. It was so good. Oh, real quick, as you see, everything at Time Fries is not um, free. So you, if you want wings, those are extra charge. But the fries of the day, those are always uh, included, so free. And that's another one that if you try it, you like it, you better eat it that day because you won't see it again. But as I said, this this boat has so many options to eat. If you're hungry while you're on this cruise, then you want to be hungry because there is no way that with all this food on the cruise that you're not gonna eat something. So as you see on the screen, that they were practicing for the shows, and the shows were amazing. This is just a practice, but we caught several shows. It was so hard because there were so many shows going on at the same time. Between this is at center stage, and then they also have the Jubilee Theater. So we almost missed one of our shows because I assumed that it was going to be at the center stage and it was in the Jubilee Theater. So make sure that you're checking your app, and that's why I said that that Hub app is going to be so important because it's going to tell you the times and exactly um, where the shows are. And again, that's a practice. So beautiful. So on this 7 day trip, we actually had two formal nights. The first formal night was on the second night of the trip, and then the second formal night was on Thursday night. So that's the sixth night of the trip, I believe. And so if you're doing a 7 day travel on the Jubilee, make sure that you pack for two different formal nights. I didn't know that, but I just so happened to have brought another dress, so I was able to get by with that. And of course, it's not mandatory that you dress in formal attire. It's definitely optional, but you're gonna feel out of place if you go to dinner because let me tell you, the guests on the Carnival Jubilee, a lot of them was dressed to the nines, especially the first formal night, and it probably caught them off guard too that there was a second formal night. And just FYI, they have lobster tail on the second formal night. So I was expecting it on the first formal night, but they did not have it. But they do still have frog legs on the last night of the cruise. So that's something I always look forward to. Even though I have to be honest, the frog legs on this cruise disappointed me. I'm so sorry. I was very disappointed by the frog legs, and I put a little salt and pepper on it. It brought them alive a little bit, but I'm sorry. I have to tell you that It was a miss. It was a miss for this cruise. So as you see, we did the ATV excursion in Honduras. It was an ATVs, and then it was a beach day as well. At the beach, you see, there I go, hey girl, and that was Jovi, and of course my husband picking up the rear. It was fun. The ATVs were fun. I would recommend bringing something to cover your mouth because I was just yelling, getting all kinds of dirt and all that in my mouth. I was just kind of like, okay, I need to close my mouth. Um, Also, glass shades and something to pack your phone in. So, if you want to keep your phone with you, it needs to be in like a fanny pack or a crossbody bag, or you're going to have to lock it in lockers. They do have lockers available for free. Um, I'm going to leave that at that. You also have the option to get the photo package, and that's what I did. So here's the deal about the photo package on the Honduras excursion. They sold to us for one person on the photos was 25 for 230 and for 335, and you committed to them before you did the excursion, which I thought was interesting at the time, but now I understand why. So me, myself, and my husband, and my friend, all elected to do the photos for the $35, but later found out that the USB that they give you will have all of the photos there. So there's no need to pay for two, one, two, or three, because the same photos that one person's going to get, everybody gets. Now, that's just a little secret. Now, if you want to help the locals, you can go ahead and purchase, one, two, or three, four, five, or six. Um, Great. Um, but it's, for me, I don't like that little trick. So for me, having that knowledge, I won't do that again. I'd rather just pay the $25 and then at the end leave extra money for tip. I'm a tipper, so I would rather do it that way instead of being kind of tricked into buying, photos for three when we would have gotten the same photos because we only got one USB. We did not get several USB. So I had to get one USB, copy my videos, and then give the USB to my friend. So that's just a note. So we were on top of Blue, I think, um, gosh, I forgot the name of it. I think I think the gentleman mentioned it on the, one of the tour guides mentioned it. Let me turn up the volume.
Et ça, exactement, une très très belle vue avec l'océan derrière, la forêt. Je me vois un peu en Afrique, C'est-à-dire, quand je suis ici, là, je sens un peu les sources. Je me ressens un peu comme si j'étais dans la nature africaine. Yeah, it doesn't matter which part in Africa, mais je me ressens un peu comme si je suis dans la nature africaine. Ici, là, les amis, il faut vous amuser. Et pour tous vos événements, il faut, si vous voulez réellement planifier, il faut contacter MoJo, ici Jomo Wandi, et elle vous aidera à planifier tout ce que vous avez à planifier.
Yes, I can help you plan a trip.
MoJo family, this is your girl Missy Jomo. We are at Blue Harvest in Montego Bay. Look behind us. This is absolutely beautiful.
Not Montego Bay.
Breathtaking scenery. The ocean is behind us. This is one of the stops. It's a picture opportunity, and the opportunity to take picture with the sloth. This is just one of the stops. Let's see what we have next.
Now, out of the 8,000, we have 1,500 to 2,000 that are foreigners from the United States, Canada, different parts of the world that actually reside here. Some of them have vacation homes. Some of them just have businesses here on the island. Okay. Also, guys, we're a multicultural island. We have 4 different languages here and 4 different cultures here. The main language would be English. Secondary would be Spanish. Thirdly, we have Garifuna, which is an African descent. And lastly, but not least, we have mosquito. Not the mosquito where you slap or spray it off, guys. I'm not talking about that mosquito. I'm talking about the real mosquito, guys. The Mayan Indians, okay? All together, that's 4 different languages, 4 different cultures. Also, guys, we're just the Bay Islands of Honduras, which is Roatán. Honduras itself is our mainland. The mainland of Honduras, 36 miles that way. Guys, we have 2 ways to get.
So we weren't in Honduras proper. He said to get there was 36 miles away. So I wasn't aware of that. But I guess this area, Mahogany Bay, is, I guess, is considered part of Honduras, but the actual island of Honduras was 36 miles away.
From here to the mainland and vice versa. One is a ferry. The ferry goes back and forth 3 times a day at $30 a person, and it gets there roughly in an hour and a half. The other option is you can fly on the plane. The plane gets there in 15 minutes at $40 a person. So you can pay $30 and get there in an hour and a half, or you can pay an extra 10 and get there in 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure that's a no-brainer, right? Or, guys, you could try option number 3. Just jump in the water, start swimming. Guys, I can't tell you how long that one's going to take, but I can guarantee you that one's going to be absolutely free, okay? Also, guys, we have an international airport here in case you guys want to come back and visit. We have flights coming from Atlanta, Miami, and Houston. Yes, ma'am. Houston, yes, ma'am. Also, guys, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but we have the 2nd largest ocean reef in the world next to Australia. We're number 2. You see that reef out there, guys? That reef out there goes 36 miles around this whole island. Okay? So what's going to happen right now, you guys are going to gather all your belongings. When you get downstairs, you're going to go back in the bus that brought you here, and that bus is going to take you guys directly to that beautiful beach. Now, hopefully you guys get in the water today. For those of you guys that are going to get in the water, let me remind y'all, the water temperature today is what we like to call refreshing. That means get in the water, guys, all right? Also, guys,
the water, I would have to say, was refreshing. I didn't stay in it a long time just because really and truly I just got in it to take the pictures, but I love the scenery. So it was Roatán, beach in Roatán. I forgot, it started with an L, the name of the beach.
You see all this area right here, guys? Guys, not only are you looking at an ATV trail, you're also looking at where all the agriculture on this island is grown. I'm not sure if you guys saw the greenhouses, but we have lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes, eggplant.
Yeah, back when we were riding on the ATVs as we went back into the woods, I noticed a lot of greenhouses. I thought that was interesting. They right where we were is where they grow all their vegetables and fruits and things like that was just right there. That's pretty awesome.
Yes, coconuts, things of that nature that supports our local supermarkets. We only have 5 supermarkets on this island. So as far as agriculture, you're looking at where everything is grown that supports all 5 supermarkets. This is our Kroger right here, guys. All right?
That was their Kroger
also,
right
guys,
there.
Also, guys, without you guys, there is no us. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the #1 source of income on the island is tourism. So we highly appreciate you guys because you guys help us support our family. Also, guys, I'm your front driver.
Of course, they were interested in tipping. So make sure that if you go on this excursion, that you bring tip money. And that's kind of what I was saying about the videos and the pictures. Why not just tell us that you're going to give us only $1 USD so that we can plan to tip you the rest of the money. I would rather do it that way, but
Feel free, send your comments, guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. For those of you guys that have good comments, please send your comments. For those of you guys that have bad comments, we got like 3 garbage cans on the compound. Feel free to drop your bad comments off. All right, guys, lastly but not least, this is very important. We like to promote safety first. As all of you guys know, we just came up that hill, right? Yeah. Guys, now we're about to go down that hill. So now once you get on your bike, guys, we're going to do the opposite of gas, which is?
Right.
Exactly. So
let me tell you something about this excursion. So on the way down, this was my first time on the ATV. First of all, they did an excellent job of teaching how to drive it. Well, you might say, well, it's not hard. Well, if you've never been on one or driven one yourself, your nerves may get the best of you. Because even when I got on the ATV, I was like, okay, something about this red button here, and something about okay, so this is the brake. I got that. Okay, so yes, but they did a great job of explanation. Even more so when we were going down that hill. One of the tour gentlemen actually got on my bike with me and helped me down the hill because I was a little bit worried about going down the hill too fast. And we're all in a line. I didn't want to hit anyone, so they were more than happy to get on the bike with me. But at the same time, they were very encouraging as it came to encouraging. They were telling me how good of a job I was doing. So I was really excited. I will have to say this Honduras cruise excursion was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed it.
Guys, just remember, as we go down the hill, just squeeze both brakes till we get down the hill. Now, once we're down the hill, you can hit your gas again, okay? Safety first. You guys ready to get this show back on the road?
So another thing with this excursion, they had an opportunity to take a picture with a sloth, but it was an additional $10. So if you take a picture with the sloth, it's $10 additional. Again, you have to commit to this before you go up on the hill, and those sloth pictures are not part of. I don't think are part of that package. So I believe it was separate because I didn't see them on the USB. But I could be wrong. But that's another thing. If it is on the USB, which I can't remember, and asking to pay an additional $10 is kind of like, okay, come on, guys, come on.
Those hog plum. Hog plum. Yes, ma'am.
So as you see, the sloth is on the ATV back there. He was so cute. He was just sitting there. Look at him. He was so cute. But I elected not to pay to take a picture with the sloth. I didn't want to pay an extra $10. Don't call me cheap, okay? I just didn't choose to take it. Go and dime situation. So he was so cute. Look at him. Oh. So I just videoed him. So that was as far as I was able to get. But yeah, as I was saying, this Honduras excursion, I would recommend. I'm going to leave the review, the full 5-star review, because even though I was not happy with the nickel and diamond on the pictures, I was happy with the people. They gave great customer service. I felt safe. I felt like even though I've never ridden on an ATV, that I was okay. And some people weren't happy with where we went on the ATVs, but I was totally happy because being my first time, even some of the turns were scary to me. So I had a really good time, and my husband had a good time too. So, and our friend had a good time. She actually went through the mud and got muddied. So that's another thing. If you're going to be going through the mud, I would recommend bringing wearing something that you don't mind getting dirty, because you will get dirty. I went slow through the mud, so I didn't get dirty. My shoes got a little bit muddy, but that was the extent of it. So now we left that area and we went to the island that the tour guide spoke about. And for some reason, the name of the island is escaping me, but this was in Roatán. So this gentleman actually gave me some wisdom about the island.
Tell me about Honduras.
All right, so we're in the island of Roatán. So Roatán means banana because back in the days that's what we used. That's the first thing that got exported from island, bananas. So in the island we have a lot of banana trees. So we sell that's what we sell. All right, so island that's why the island name means bananas.
So I didn't know that. The island name, the Roatán means banana. That's what the local told me.
Does the United States get bananas from Roatán?
Roatán, no, just Central America.
Okay, Central America.
My bad. I'm not speaking my common language because I'm talking a lot.
Okay.
So all right, so okay, so what I mean to say that okay, so in that the whole island is it's 86 miles long. Okay,
86
Say it in your
miles.
language.
yeah, this is my language now.
Okay.
So wildness is 36-mile wildness. So we don't go out no danger in the island. In the island we like speak Creole. Okay, so this is the language we are speaking now. It like be kind of more mashed up now, but so you can understand me as speaking a little easier because we like speak very fast. Okay, to say a glass of water, like give me a glass of water, we say hand me a glass of water. Please, yeah. It's all like a little bit British with
Is it kind of like a broken English, a pigeon?
broken English, like British but Jamaican style. We say bumbleclap and all that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he gave me a little education about the island. He was so nice. I felt so bad because he was constantly trying to sell me a bracelet, and I'm like, look, I don't want a bracelet, but hey, you can tell me about the island, and then I'll give you a little something, something. So this area where my friend Jovi was, let me pause this real quick. Um, where Jovi, I got up on there and did a video. The view was so nice. Let me tell you, it was just so nice. I could have stayed up there the whole time, and it was not as hot there. It was definitely a pleasant temperature. So Honduras in September, I would say yes, go ahead and go. So on this picture here, on this video here, I was just walk. Uh-oh. I was just walking around. So the thing about the Jubilee is that it has different areas, and so this I keep doing that. This area was called Grand Central, and this is actually on the sixth floor. And the sixth floor is where the bottom of the center stage, the first floor of the center stage, because the center stage you see it on sixth, seventh, and eighth floor. And so, as I mentioned, we stayed on the eighth floor, and then this is the bottom of the central center stage. But it also this floor is also where the Pacific dining is, and the Atlantic dining room, which is the MDR, the main dining rooms. I was assigned to Pacific. I didn't have dining your time. I had a 5:30 dining, and at first I was kind of like, why did I sign up for? Or I don't even remember signing up for 5:30 dining. But let me tell you something. It actually ended up working out very well for me because I would eat early and then go do all my activities afterwards. Usually, first show started around 7:30 or 7:45, and it worked out wonderfully because I could eat, get that out the way, and then go watch all my shows, and I didn't have to worry about missing anything. So um, I actually think that on future cruises, I'm going to do 5:30 dining, and also the other thing with picking your dining time early is that you get to dine with the same crew. And what makes that so nice is that they start to know what you like, what more than likely you're going to order. For instance, I ordered like a cheese plate every night, and so it just started coming. He's like, cheese, Margie, hey Margie, cheese plate, right? And I was like, yeah, 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 I want a cheese plate. Or he would say, oh, no bread, right? Because I don't eat bread. He's like, you're right, no bread, thank you. So it was nice by the end of 7 days. They almost knew what kind of you wanted to order, and they were super nice. And so tip your wait staff, please. I would recommend that. I'm going to talk about those gratuities later because there are gratuities built in your cruise fare if you paid it in your cruise fare. But it is a big controversy about those gratuities. Rather, you should pay them or not have them removed, or have them removed and pay cash. My take on it is that gratuities are not mandatory. And yes, I do appreciate everything that the crew does on the Carnival cruise, But me, I personally prefer to give my tips myself. And lots of times, to be honest, my tips are more than the breakdown that they show for gratuities. And people are like, how do we know you're tipping? Well, I'm tipping because I said I'd tip. I mean, I like to tip. I just like to tip by choice, not by force. So I gave my wait staff cash every night, and I gave my room stewardess cash on the first day, the third day, and then the Friday before we left, just to make sure that he got it. Usually I leave it in the room, but then when I leave the ship, I always wonder, oh, did my stewardess get their money or not? So this time I gave it to him on the Friday instead of the Saturday when we left. So he was so excited. His name was Big O. So if you're sailing on the Carnival Jubilee and Big O is your room steward, you're gonna have a good time. Him and I, we laughed it up in the hallway all the time. We were so loud when I came down the hall. He was like, "Hey, Margie!" I said, "Hey, Big O, how you doing?" And we would just be so loud. I was like, we're probably waking everybody up. And then he was like, "Where's Willie?" My name is William, but he would call him Willie. I thought it was amazing. We had by the end of 7 days, you truly sometimes feel like, gosh, I may never see this person again, but we definitely connected. That's Big O. So if you ever is connected with Big O on the cruise ship, you have a wonderful stewardess, and tip him well, please. All right. So what you see now on the screen was some time that we spent in Costa Maya. So I didn't do an excursion in Costa Maya because I hadn't been to Costa Maya. So I wanted to kind of explore Costa Maya, Mexico, but I have to be honest. This was neat and the background about it and the prayers to the gods and being upset because they're actually up 70 feet and all they have is that rope and they tied it on themselves. It's not like it's not like it was, I don't know, it just didn't seem secure. So I was like, I have to record this because I'm like, these people are crazy. So that was in Costa Maya. So the next thing that you see on this video was we did the twister boat, um, glass bottom boat, uh, Paradise Island, and the Jeep excursion in Cozumel. And I really liked this package. It had so many things to do. And it was under 100, I think it was around $125. But this is another one I highly recommend because we took this twister boat that did the 360. I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was going to be scared out of my mind, but it wasn't too bad. Let me see. Um, it was fast. We played music. Right there in the maroon shirt, that was our tour guide. He was awesome. Um, we went, it seemed like maybe a 25-minute ride out. And then when we got, I guess, close to Paradise Island, is when we started doing our 360. It was a lot of fun, and that was us looking. I didn't really get a video because they recommend that you put your phones up because if it goes out into the water, they already tell you they're not going back to get it. So it's best to not have your phone in your hand. Even one of the ladies with me was struggling with her hat. I recommend you not having a hat on your head because it will fly off. We are going, I don't even know the speed that we were going, but we were going so fast that everything was flying everywhere. So I went back and forth if I should record it or not. I didn't get a chance to record it, but one of the nice passengers, one of the other guests on the boat did some recording, and I will be doing another video with the excursion specifically so that you can kind of get a look at what a twister boat was like. So from the twister boat, they dropped us off at Passion Island, and that's Passion Island. So that's where we are on this picture. And when you get there, they're going to do pictures. They're going to do one in front of this sign, and then they have another sign that they'll do pictures. And then they will print them by the end, and you can decide if you wanted to buy them. Well, I didn't want to buy those pictures, so I took my own. I'm very particular about my pictures, so I decided to take my own. So this was our tour guide. He was a good guy. He was fun. He was so nice. It started raining while we were there, and so they had cabanas. And so he told my husband and I we could go into the cabana even though we hadn't paid for it. And he let us take one of their um, seats so that we would have a comfortable place under an umbrella. Very nice guy. I had to definitely tip him. And then he did this video for me. Check it out. He's talking about Passion Island.
First of all, let me tell you about Passion Island, a paradise on earth. One of the most beautiful beach clubs that you can find in the whole Cozumel Island. Why? Still human untouched. The only area that you're going to find right over here is this beach club, but the rest of the island is still being a natural reservoir. You can find plenty of species right here. If you are a fauna lover, you can find different birds, iguanas, and raccoons, Mexican raccoons. The most top activities to do right here is get a party with the Mexicans, your tour guide, having a couple of drinks, margaritas, tequila shots, and enjoy the beautiful day at the beach club. Also, you can do kayaks. We get kayaks for the people so they can enjoy the view that we have right here. If you bring your own snorkel gear, we recommend to you to try to do snorkeling because you can find different species of fishes. There is plenty of them right over here in the Caribbean Ocean. And let me tell you, you're not gonna find any water like the one that we got right here on the Caribbean waters, you know? Some of the most beautiful beach that we got in the whole Mexico country. Also, we got volleyball fields right here to play match. We got a soccer field in the other side. If you wanna play a match right here, you can do it. But the best part is the tour guides, you know? We make sure that everybody has a party. Que viva la fiesta, que viva Mexico. We make sure that give you a really good time over here so you can have one of the best memories. So don't doubt it and pay a visit on us, whatever you want. We're going to be right here for you, okay? Bring all your friends. Bring the papis and the mommies. There you go. You can edit that.
He was so funny. He was like, "Oh, you can delete that if you want to." He was so funny. Yeah, you know, this is the first time I've been on a cruise, and the excursions absolutely did not let me down. I enjoyed all the excursions, and even the tour guides. They were awesome. And this guy, he was so I forgot his name because he didn't have his name tag, and he was so nervous about doing this review for me, and he did awesome. Even with bring your pappies and mammies, it's so funny. But yeah, I definitely recommend this excursion. And once again, I will put everything in the description. So a part of that same excursion was the Jeep riding. We went in the backwoods, the jungle, I don't even know what to call it. It was so freaking scary. My husband was focused. He was like, and me, I'm over in the passenger seat, like, are we gonna stop when we hit that big water? I mean, I was like, here in Texas, we would not even try to go through water like that, and now we're doing it as for fun. Okay, well, hey, you know, I'll try anything once. So the tour guide told us, you know, if he goes right, go right. If we go left, go left. So it was more comforting seeing the vehicle in front of us get through before we were there. So as you see, my husband was driving and he was very focused. So then after the tour in the Jeeps, we went on the glass bottom boat. So you have the option to get in the water and go snorkeling, or sit on the boat. So my husband elected to get in the water, and I elected to be cute on the boat. So this is all a part of the same excursion. So this was right before we went out. We were out for a good hour in the glass bottom boat, and it was beautiful being able to see through the bottom of the boat. The only thing is you definitely have to take off your shoes because they don't want you scratching the bottom of the boat. And so then before we left, we took a few pictures and just to see. Coming back, it was so much fun to see the carnival staff dancing and welcoming us back. So I had to do a video. So yeah, my cruise was so much fun, so packed, and I got distracted and was watching the video with you guys. But I still have a few more things that I can share with you about the cruise. And like I said, don't hesitate to reach out. Honestly, I am not an official travel personal travel personal vacation travel person, but I can always share tips and tricks about how to find the most affordable cruises. The cruise that I just went on, we stayed in the Havana rooms, which is the only thing that brought the cost up, but the cruise itself was only $800 for a 7-day cruise, and that was total. That was for two of us. And like I said, the only thing we were paying for was that upgrade to the Havana room and the Havana room. And we did an interior. So I was not a fan of the interior. I'm going to do another video with an interior room and an ocean view room, interior Havana room, and then a regular ocean view room on deck 5, I believe. So you can, you'll see in the video down below. But I mean, you'll see the video link down below once I've completed this video and edited it. But I would say if you are not getting a Havana Cabana room, I would honestly say I don't think it's worth it to do a Havana room. And don't crucify me. So I got the Havana room initially because they also offered the last cruise I was on the Firenze. It also offered a separate breakfast, and I liked that because then I didn't have to be waiting in the main dining room for a table, and I didn't have to go fight in the Lido deck at the buffets. Plus, I really am not a fan of the buffet, and I'm gonna tell you why later. So I like that about the Havana room. So they do have an out. So the main bar, the Havana bar, anyone can come in, and then you have to use your ship and sail card to get to the outside where there was one jacuzzi and several chairs. The area was really small. It did have a bar out there, but it just didn't make sense for the price. If you're in a Havana Cabana room, I would highly recommend that. It has a whole outside. I actually did do a video of a Havana Cabana room, so that will also be in the description below once I'm finished. Once I finish with the videos, so that you can see the Havana Cabana, the interior Havana, and the ocean view on the 5th floor. So stay tuned for another one of my videos. But that is my experience with the Havana room and why I would not pay the upcharge on the next trip. So these are things that will help you save money if you're thinking about going on a cruise, because it's just I'm not really sure what I paid for on this cruise. I have to be honest. So, and I'm about cruising more, so I want to save money so that I can make the most of my cruises. I want to add more excursions and experience different excursions instead of just paying for a room. Because think about it. How long are you in your room? We were literally only in the room at nighttime. I tried to go take naps during the day, but there was just too many activities going on. And if I laid down, I felt like, what am I missing? So I just went ahead and went out. I was literally out of the room at all times. So that's why I say that I just don't think that it's worth the cost. Um, so let's see. see a couple of you in the room. Go ahead and like, subscribe to this video. Follow me on TikTok, The Real MoJo Show. Okay, so now I'm going to get back to my notes. So I'm going to go back to things that you should pack. Some of these things can be a game changer for you. I packed hooks for my room. And let me tell you why that was so important, because when we got our clothes wet, we were fighting where to hang them in the bathroom. Remember, we're in an interior room. So everything is so super small. Like even just coming through the door, we could not, the door was hard as heck to open, first of all. And then if my husband was holding the door for me, we both couldn't fit in the hall, in the walkway at the same time. It was just so super small. And so in the bathroom, you do have the hook from the shower. One plus about the interior room in the Havana area was that we had a glass shower door. That was a benefit because I don't know, those curtains, I hate them in the other bathrooms because when they touch my skin, I'm like, ah, did anyone clean these curtains? Did they really have enough time to thoroughly clean those shower curtains? So I really did appreciate the glass door sliding, because it was so weird that in the interior room we had the glass door, but in the ocean view room it still had the curtain. And I was thinking, well, that's odd, but hey, I'm very thankful because I don't even like that little curtain thing. So I was happy that we still had the glass sliding door. But hooks to hang up your wet clothes around the small cabin was very helpful, because when we got our clothes wet, we were able to hang them and let them dry instead of having them in the bathroom and having to move them when we came and took a shower. A non-surge extension cord. This is real important because the first cruise I went to, they took my cord from me. Like, I was so mad. They were like, well, we're going to have to throw it away. I said, throw it away? I'm like, oh my gosh, really? You're going to throw my extension cord away? So I learned. So I got a non-surge extension cord. And the good thing about the Jubilee, this is the ship that has had the most outlets, because not only do they have them by the mirror, they have the USBs on both sides of the bed. So you can charge at the mirror with your plug. And they have 3 plugs and 4 USB on the mirror, and then 1 USB on both sides of the bed. So we have plenty of places to plug in at. But that extension cord at least allows you to bring it closer to the bed. A small fan. So I got hot and cold on this trip, but I was lucky enough that they had a fan available. So I used one of Carnival's fan. Your own, this may be funny, but bring poopery. Yes, when you are sharing rooms with someone, you want to make sure that you cover your tracks. That was very useful. Poopery, they're not sponsoring me or anything, but it worked very well. I would also say bring snacks that you love, because I brought a few snacks on the ship, and I would have to say I was not happy. I did a trail mix, and I did caramels, and I did peanut butter cups, and I know you're on vacation, but the overpricing, come on, Carnival. We got to do better. I love you, Carnival. I already said a tumbler for your water or tea, and then also a bag for your wet clothes. Having that when I was on the excursion was wonderful, because I was able to change out of my wet clothes, put on dry clothes, and put those wet clothes in my wet bag, and it didn't get everything else in my big bag wet. So that was very convenient. So now I'm going to go back and talk about that buffet on the cruise. So the buffet is wonderful if you're one of the first ones to get there. Unfortunately, there is literally 6,000 people on this ship, and everyone is touching something. And some people are good with hygiene, and some people are not so good with their hygiene. So if you have, say, everyone's not eating at the buffet, say only half, let's say less than half, say 2,500 people are eating at the buffet. That's 2,500 different hands touching everything around the buffet, leaving you susceptible to possibly taking a little friend called germ with you. How I prepare for my cruises about 2 weeks before leaving. I start pumping my body full of vitamins and vitamin D and vitamin C, multivitamins, which I do take vitamins on a regular basis, but I just make sure that I take them as we lead up to the cruise. And so, one thing about this cruise, some people in our group were getting sick. There were 3 or 4 of them getting sick, and then myself and my husband. We're still good today. We haven't had any symptoms of sickness, no flu, no, the other one. And so all is well with us building our immune system before we left. So I highly recommend if you can stay away from the buffet, do so. But I know everyone can't eat in the main dining room. Just go early, okay? That and wash your hands. There are literally sinks all around the cruise ship. There is no reason for you not to wash your hands. And they have sanitizer. So sinks and sanitizer means wash your hands so everyone can stay healthy. All right, let's talk about fun. Or at least that could be subjective. Casino. The casino is nice when it comes to knowing that, spending some time in the casino could equate to having a free cruise. So I definitely recommend spending $50 at least, at minimum, in the casino. Um, I get great cruise deals from Carnival, free interior rooms. I used to get free balcony rooms. I don't know what happened. There's been a change in the way Carnival does things, and they're still changing. But that's the thing about life. The one thing that's constant is change. So at this time, it seems like I keep landing myself free interior rooms, but I'm not complaining. And that is from the casino deals. You have to play in order to start qualifying for deals. And honestly, you probably should budget, budget. But I will say on the Carnival casino deals where you get your drinks free, I would say this particular cruise, I had both good and not so good experience with the wait staff. I did have some good wait staff themselves, but they are very well worked, and so they were all over the casino, which the Jubilee has a massive casino area. So, and I spend a lot of time in the non-smoking side. So I really appreciate Carnival for considering us who do not smoke, because those smoking sides really overwhelmed me with smoke. But if you're a smoker, then it's perfect for you. But as far as the drinks in the casino, they are slow. Many times I had to get up and just go to the bar. And I'm thankful that the bar did not necessarily require me to stay at my seat to get a drink. They were able, I let them know, hey, I haven't seen the staff in a while, and I really want to drink, even if it was just water or ginger beer, which is what I drink a lot of, because you start turning back Hennessy, you may get up with a hole in your pocket. I'm just going to say that. So, also, something that I want to say, oh, the boat roller coaster. So this was so exciting. This was the first time that I've ridden a roller coaster on the ship. The boat was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was $15, but the only complaint I would have about the boat is that it was too short. Now, it does go around twice, and they do take pictures while you're on the boats, but it is so quick. If you sneeze, you miss the whole ride. So just know that if you're gonna do the boat, on the roller coaster, it will be $15. And I will tell you that the first day that we signed up for the boat, it was not, they closed it down for maintenance. And it wasn't even maintenance on the actual roller coaster, it was because of their scale. If their scale doesn't work, then they shut the roller coaster down, which gives you some kind of security that, like, hey, they care about our safety. So even though it was just the scale, they care. So they closed it down. So we ended up taking it the second day. And it was so much fun. Just too quick. So I would recommend it. Be prepared to pay $15 and to get the full effect of it, ride it twice. Oh, one thing that you should know about the boat too is that it has a maximum weight for two people of 400 pounds. So, and I think one person was the maximum of three. No, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up and put it in the description down below. But just know that there is a weight limit, and if you're riding as two, your combined weight has to be under 400 pounds. Another quick thing is do not miss the shows on this boat. You saw a little practice. That was nothing in comparison to what they have to share. I would say make sure you get a chance to see the shows. The nightlife on Jubilee was busy. I had to miss out on a couple of those nightlives, but the Jubilee had a good crowd, at least on this sailing. The white party was really good, and I got nothing but great reviews about it. The club was full. The comedy club always had long lines and standing room only. So definitely catch some of the comedians at the Punchliner club. Going back to the excursions, something I found out on this cruise is that if you purchase excursions on the cruise, they're much higher. So an excursion that I paid $85 for prior to the cruise, my friend who purchased the cruise on the ship paid $115 for it. So you're definitely going to save a lot of money if you purchase your excursions prior to booking the cruise. And also stay tuned to your emails, because a lot of times Carnival will send you 30%, 20%, 10% discounts in your email. So even if you already purchased the excursion, you can refund it and then repurchase it with your coupon code. So the last thing is bring some bathroom. Well, I already talked about bathrooms. So we already talked about that. So that's about it. So then there you have it, MoJo family. My trip on the Carnival Jubilee was awesome. From check-in, to check out, I really don't have a lot of complaints, which I don't like to complain anyway. But the biggest thing is book early. I booked last September for this September. And that is the biggest way to be able to afford a cruise. I have been going on 3 to 4 cruises a year just because I have been booking them a year prior and also taking advantage of the casino promotions that were being offered. So if you have any questions, drop your questions in the comments. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be putting out several videos, the rooms, the room walkthroughs, and more about each excursion. I will put them in separate videos so that you can really be able to make an informed decision. So don't forget, share, like, subscribe to the MoJo the MoJo show. And until next time, keep it real and keep your mojo. See you soon.